In this episode of Journey to the Stone, we're going to talk about diamond. Everybody knows diamond. Everybody wants to understand diamond and everybody wants to get diamond. The world market for diamond is by far the largest market in the world for gemstones. It demands the highest price per carat. It has broke new world records year on year over the last 20 years and has been in the minds of, royalty, celebrities going back hundreds of years. If you look back at the original discovery of diamonds dating back to the mines of the Golconda region of ancient India, this is where it all began. This is where the whole situation started. So there were these mines that were mined in what's known today as the area of Hyderabad. Ironically, Hyderabad now is actually a pearl market. It's not a diamond market, but that's where all the diamonds were originally mined. Now, notable diamonds that have come from the Golconda region are like the Koh-i-Noor diamond in the British Crown Jewels, or the Orlov diamond in the Russian Federation Jewels, the Hope diamond, the Dresden diamond. All of these diamonds came from this one deposit that was actually found in what's known today as Hyderabad, or they're all known as Golconda diamonds. And they're known primarily because of their type 2A classification. A type 2A diamond has high optical dispersion due to the lack of nitrogen in the crystal structure. This particular material is just very rare and it's historical. So we get a lot of people who like to collect the Golconda diamonds. There's very few in circulation today, but when you get one, you're looking at something that is just extremely rare. And how we identify these stones is predominantly through the type 2A classification or type 2B classification, depending on the type of stones. Type 2B usually are the fancy colors. Type 2A would be the optical high brilliance white variety. So here we are in the 1700s. They're mining diamonds in ancient India. Now, a lot of these diamonds, basically were sold to royalty throughout the world, and that's what put diamond on the map. And these particular diamonds are extremely rare and collected, and they also represent some of the biggest collected diamonds in the world. The Graff Wittelsbach is also a Golconda. There's a lot of Golcondas around the world that currently sit in museums, etc. So that was the diamond that put it on the map. Now, let's fast forward to the current environment of diamonds. So you got white diamonds all over the world. They're used for weddings, marriages, and it is by far the largest industry in existence. 99.9% of all diamonds in the world that are sold are pretty much in the range of the GH color, the mass market material. GH color, SI clarity, that's the material that most people get married with. It's stuff that you see regularly across the shops. SI is still a good clarity, right? Eye clarity starts to become a little bit, heavily included for the naked eye. But if you got an SI diamond, you still got an attractive diamond that sparkles, it's got good crystallization, etc. And then, of course, as you move forward to the perfect diamond, which is the D flawless, it represents, if you look from the SI grade and above, not below SI grade, but just in the gem quality diamond section, it's 1 in 3 million diamonds will hit the perfect classification of the D flawless. The D flawless is like the needle in the haystack. It is almost impossible to find. It is rare. It is uncommon. And it sells for a huge premium to what most people wear when they get married, like a multiple of 3 to 4 times, just due to the rarity of supply. And that's usually what defines the value, is based off of supply, because collectors, wholesalers, enthusiasts want what people don't have a lot of. In the case of Florence, she only uses D flawless, which gives me a headache because it's one of the most difficult diamonds to find. It's 1 in 3 million diamonds, and therefore it sends me on a mission trying to work with De Beers. I've worked with Rio Tinto. I've worked with all the different mining deposits, from the Venetian Mine in the northern part of South Africa over to, the Letseng Mine Mine in the Kingdom of Lesotho, or down to what's known as the Debmarine Mine in Namibia, as well as the Canadian mines, the Ekati Mine. I've done it all. I've been everywhere trying to find this deep flawless diamond, right? Very rare, very difficult to find. So it really boils down to the grading spectrum, but diamonds have grown year on year quite significantly, and they've proven to be they've proven to be a great investment over time, just because of the world demand is constantly growing for them. There is a lot of white diamond in the world. That is a true fact. And I know that De Beers holds on to a lot of them, and they basically control that market. But then if you want to talk about something that is not controlled and is something that is extremely, extremely rare and raises the level, deep flawless is rare because it's 1 in 3 million. But there is something that is also extremely rare: natural, untreated diamonds. When you're talking about the world of natural, untreated diamonds, that is very uncommon. You're talking about 1 in a, like if you're talking pink diamonds, it's like 1 in a million, 2 million, 3 million diamonds will ever be pink. So that's extremely rare. Blues, same type of ratios and numbers. Yellow, you're talking about 1 in 20, 25,000, 30,000, depending on the deposit, which location produces more. For example, the Venetian Mine, the Venetian Mine in the northern part of South Africa on the border of Zimbabwe doesn't really produce a lot of yellows. The Letseng Mine doesn't really produce a lot. We do get some yellows out of the Debmarine Mine, occasionally out of the Kingdom of Lesotho as well. We get some out of Argyle as well, some yellow diamonds. They tend to have more of a pinkish secondary to the yellow. Some people like that because of the Argyle factor to them, right? It really depends what you're into, but they're just not common. But the yellow diamonds come out of Botswana as well, right? If you go to the Botswana deposit, you'll see some nice yellows that come out of there with great optical brilliance. When you're looking for yellow, so let's take the canary yellow diamond, right? What's the color that you're looking for? You're looking for like fancy colors. Like a fancy yellow is an amazing canary yellow diamond, right? If you can get a fancy yellow, fancy vivid, all these fancy types of yellows are amazing quality yellow diamonds. And then, of course, clarity matters. I mean, Kat, all her diamonds are exceptional. She only deals with the best, She won't even set anything but deep flawless, which is ridiculous, but it is the way she operates, and she's the only designer in the world who has ever done that. And that also limits her ability to scale, because if Kat would go to VVS1 like every other jeweler in the world, she would be able to scale her line significantly. But because she refuses and she stays only with what I refer to as the needle in the haystack or the unicorn, the D flawless, it limits how many pieces she can make per annum. And that is one of the reasons why Kat Florence will always be a limited supply. She is known in the world as the Bugatti Enron of race cars, or the supercar, the handmade, hand-tailored Maybach when it comes to supercars. So the yellows, what you want to be looking for, if you like yellows, are, that nice fancy yellows. Kat has put out some notable nice fancy yellows. She's got an 11 karat cushion that I gave to her that I got a while back. There's also an 8 karat cushion that I gave to her, but you'll see some nice yellows coming out of Kat Florence. Once again, it's all about the quality with Kat. So you can be assured the cutting is top of the line. The quality is excellent. The dispersion hits, all the points, and you're going to see a whole lot of sparkle when you see the diamonds that she produces. Now, let me take you to the rarest diamond in the world, the pink diamond. So let's go back to Argyle. The Argyle deposit was discovered in 1985 officially, and actually started mining with Rio Tinto in 85, but it was actually discovered in 1979, and it was discovered, it was a long-term discovery. Now, this type of pipe is different than a lot of diamond mines, which are known as kimberlite deposits. This is actually a volcanic pipe, and it's one of the largest producing, discoveries of diamonds in the world. It's a volcanic pipe which basically moved diamonds from about 160 miles in the Earth's mantle and moved them up to the Earth's soil. Now, this is the largest producer and by no means is there any quantity, but very, very limited. But it is the largest producer of pink diamonds in the world. A lot of discussions on where these pink diamonds come from. Some people think it's the elements, like blue diamond gets its blue from boron, yellow diamond gets its yellow from nitrogen. But pink diamonds, there's a lot of different discussions about it. A lot of people believe this volcanic event happened over 1 billion years ago, and the actual dinosaurs were walking by, and these diamonds sat on the Earth's soil, getting all that sun in the Australian area of where the AK1 pipe is, and basically turned pink over time. I don't know if I buy that theory, because diamonds are pretty much indestructible. There is some trace elements that we find within, but we have no confirmation of what creates this natural phenomenon. I've also found the oddball rare pink diamond coming out of either Tanduru in the ancient rivers of Tanzania, as well as I've seen pink diamonds coming out of other deposits as well. When I'm hunting down D flawless, they might have one pink, but it's literally one in it's ridiculous numbers, right? It's crazy numbers. It's something that is so rare. It's like everything stops when a pink diamond's discovered because of the rarity of it. Some notable Argyle pink diamonds that have come out of Cap Florence is there was a fancy pink 5.06 carat. So a fancy pink Argyle diamond is just crazy rare. There was also a light pink 2 carat. Both of the stones were flawless, right? They were both flawless diamonds, the 5 carat and the 2 carat. And just to have that in pink diamond is unheard of. A 1 carat Argyle, if you look at when I was going to Australia in the 90s, because back in the day, I tell you, I used to go to Lightning Ridge to pick up black opal. I used to go to Queensland to pick up sapphire and sell them back in the market in Chanthaburi, Thailand, to the cutters there. And I used to actually go in this area, and there were people who had been around these mines. Remember, this deposit, these diamonds sat on the earth, on the surface of the earth before Rio Tinto took possession of this. So some of the rock hounds in the area had some rough pieces here and there, and I was able to get some diamonds that way, as well as I was able to trade, some, Lightning Ridge black opal for some Argyle back in the day. But a 1 carat Argyle, back in 1995 compared to now, I mean, the price has gone up exponentially. A 1 carat Argyle fancy pink will set you back 300,000 wholesale in today's market. 300,000 wholesale, and it can go retail up to double that. So, you're looking at exponential growth in the diamond world. Now, it's funny because if you look back 100 years ago, right, nobody wanted the pink diamonds. Nobody wanted the blue diamonds. Nobody wanted the yellows. Nobody wanted them, even though they're much, much more rare. They want them because they wanted white, right? It's exactly the same as tanzanite. Everybody wanted the blue tanzanite, but pink tanzanite now sells for 10 times the price of blue tanzanite because there is no supply, and everybody has learned that, wait a minute, there's a pink tanzanite, and it's extremely, extremely rare. Same thing happened with diamonds. So those are notable diamonds and that have gone through Cap Florence and, stones I've collected throughout the years. You don't get a lot of pink diamonds. I think through my whole career of Argyle pink diamonds, I've got less than, 10 pieces or something like that, right? And every once in a while, I give one to Cap Florence to make a piece of jewelry, and it sells immediately just due to the rarity of this material, right? And that's just the way it is. The supply is so limited and the demand is massive when it comes to Argyle material. Unfortunately, the Argyle mine has closed as of 2020, so that is the end of an era, and that is the reality of our world. But let me take you now into the world of other gemstones. So basically, the predominant producers of stones in the world market of diamonds that are out there, let's start with Africa. So I do a lot of buying up there. I go up to the Venetian Mine over on the border of Zimbabwe. I also go down to the Kingdom of Lesotho. That's the Letseng Diamond Mine. It's the highest altitude diamond mine, in all of Africa at 10,000 feet. What's interesting about this particular diamond mine is it does produce a lot of of big diamonds. If you follow Graff diamonds, you'll see a lot of Graff diamonds come from the kingdom of Lesotho. And he's actually taking a position investing into that mine personally. Graff is pretty big on the diamond scale. Now, if you follow the Orange River from the center of South Africa, the Orange River is the natural separation between, the border of South Africa and the border of Namibia. You'll basically run that into the Atlantic Ocean, and what you'll end up with is what's known as the Debmarine Mine. It's actually on the Namibian side. The Debmarine Mine, people tend to believe, produces some of the cleanest quality diamonds because they've had to travel that journey for hundreds and hundreds of miles through the Orange River, rolling on the bottom of the river to be spurted out into the ocean along the beach, because they're actually found on the beach there. And actually, then they're all brought back and helicoptered into this one area in Namibia. It's called the Debmarine Mine, controlled by also controlled by De Beers. You sit down and you can also get some deflawless out of there. Very few, very limited, once again, but always interesting to go to Namibia. I love Namibia. I love the country. I love the locale. I've discovered lots of deposits of gems out there. You got a lot of random pockets over in the Orongo region of Namibia, over on the west coast of Namibia. You've also got some of the most beautiful deserts in the world. And I've discovered demantoid, aquamarine, tourmaline, yellow, canary yellow tourmalines, and some rare varieties coming out of Namibia that just produces some beautiful, beautiful gems, right? So those are the gems, basically, what I refer to as the golden, the triangle, the golden triangle of diamond, which is basically crossing over. And then let's not forget the big daddy of them all, Botswana, the Jwaneng Diamond Mine in Botswana. That is one of the largest producing diamond mines in the world. And I love the diamonds that come out of that deposit, because whenever I do find a deep flawless, they tend to have a blue flash to them, and that is known as Blue River. Extremely unique, extremely rare. I love going to Botswana. It is one of the world's most impressive places when it's come to a joint venture between a mining company and a country. See, Botswana basically has, very well sophisticated development, because it's 50% controlled by De Beers and 50% by the government of Botswana. So I know a lot of people in Botswana because of, a lot of them are geologists. And as I hunt the gemological world and I go into different parts of Africa, a lot of the guys will go with me actually originate from Botswana. So it's always interesting to go there, meet my buddies, and basically, see where their roots are from. But it's, it's a country that's really worked. That 50% of the gross national income comes from diamonds, which is really amazing. I don't think there's any other country in the world like it, but they've done great things. So that's the area within Africa. Now, I can take you to the northern part of Canada. Canada is actually quite an interesting area when it comes to diamonds. So you're up there in Yellowknife, and around 3 hours north of Yellowknife, you have the Ekati diamond mines. They produce some amazing, amazing diamonds. It's really tough to get them out, though. These diamonds, you're dealing with extreme temperatures, very, very difficult, area to work with. But I was actually locked during COVID for 2 years. I was locked down in the Canada region. I did a lot of work with the Dominion Mine, and the Dominion Diamond Company basically owns the Ekati and several other mines in the northern part of Canada. And basically, I've done some work with them, and I was able to tap into some of their resources as well. And they also do get some yellows, and they get some other colors, right? And like I said, I give Kat everything I can of the best quality, and I sell rough off of the other material because that's my core business. But diamond has captured the hearts of so many people. It's been an amazing ride watching this happen for 30 years and watching diamond continuously grow in demand throughout the world market. But if you're really investing in diamonds, you got to invest where the rarity is. Anything pink, anything fancy yellows, nice colors, anything in blues, and of course, anything in pink. Now, pink, it doesn't matter if it's light pink, doesn't matter if it's deep pink, doesn't matter if it's fancy pink, it doesn't matter. All pinks are rare. All pinks are rare, right? It doesn't matter. And a lot of pinks, and the way they grade them in the GIA, which is also interesting, is they'll grade them like, brownish pink. Now, brownish pink means it is 80 odd percent or 80% pink with a little bit of brown. It's awkward how they put the color. The primary color is the second color. So you're always looking at the second color, not the first color. So if it says brownish pink, don't worry about it, right? Because that means it's pink, right? With 20% brown, right? Something like that. Now, if it's pinkish brown, it's not as good as brownish pink. Isn't that cool? Right? The GIA does it the other way around. And a lot of people in the layman world don't know this, right? But it's the other way around. You want the brownish tones or the off tones or the off shades, the overtones to be in the first slot because that means they're not a dominating slot. You want the secondary color. So for example, if you have a brownish pink diamond, that is a pink diamond with a slight tinge of brown to it, insignificant. Right? If you have a pinkish brown diamond, that's a brown diamond with a slight tinge of pink to it. Now, both of these types will come out of Argyle, and both are rare, but if you can get pink in the second slot, that's the money, baby! That's the money! That's where the money is, right? Big money can demand 6 digits, 7 digits, big amounts of money depending on the size of the diamonds, right? So that's my update in, Journey to the Stone. I've traveled the whole world. I've been to all these different deposits all across the world. I'm just trying to give some updates to everybody. People keep asking me about my information of different deposits and discoveries. I hope you find this helpful. Thank you.